I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting...
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means they came here first, right?
Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. Listen, it's time to flip the script. If we are going to call black people African American, then guess what? White people, y'all are European Americans, period. Because the last time I checked, the only true Americans are the Native Americans, the originals. Everyone else, you came from somewhere else. Before we move on to today's episode, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. And don't forget to drop your opinion in the comments.
If you break into my house, should I just accept you because you washed my dishes and made my beds? I say no. I say you need to go back and come back in the right way.
So is that what the Indians should have told white Americans?
Absolutely. Ask Cochise if border control is important.
Because the original illegal alien are European white folk in America.
Agreed.
And so should the Indians stand up today and say deport all white folks back to Europe?
Well, should we learn something from their mistake? Because we are here now.
Or should you learn something from their compassion to give other people an opportunity like was given to you and your ancestors? Learn from their compassion. That's what you should learn from.
I say learn from their mistakes. Ask Geronimo if taking care of your borders is important. We need to do that now.
And I agree with Cochise, Geronimo, and Sitting Bull. Letting in the white man was the worst mistake that the Indians ever could have made. I agree with you. That was one of the greatest mistakes. Even right there in South Africa, they got a similar problem.
Can we normalize calling Americans European Americans? I'm recruiting everybody in the world. Everybody who is not American, let's call them European Americans. Black Americans, get in on this. European Americans. And if you white, call yourself European American. Because there's no way we out here calling African Americans. That don't make no goddamn sense. If there's African Americans, then there's European Americans. Because I don't know how we keep forgetting, particularly European Americans, that the original Americans are Indians, not even Indians, incorrectly called Indians, Native Americans, the originals. It's in the name, Native Americans. So the real Americans should be the Native Americans. Then we have the colonizers, aka the European Americans. Then we have African Americans. If we have to use African Americans, then we shall use European Americans, and I'm going to stick beside it. Because white Americans have gotten too comfortable with thinking that they're the originals. They have gotten too comfortable thinking that they own this shit. You are a European American. European American. Everybody say it with me. European American. I don't even care that I have to put more syllables in it. I am going to do that. Hope you do it too. And if you're white and American and you stand by this, do it too. Let your people know. Oh yeah, we're not American. We're European American. European. Colonizers. And then maybe that will knock some sense into some people or ruffle some feathers, which is what we also want. Okay, bye. I approve this message.
Normalize saying European American. Normalize white folks in the imperial European world naming their origin. Normalize white students learning that their ancestors migrated from Europe and colonized someone's land. Normalize that white isn't normal. It's just European. Has anyone watching this had that thought process before? That was something that I tried my best to do as an educator, but being honest with you, I often forgot. Because, like you, I've been indoctrinated to believe and think that white is the norm. But white isn't the norm. It's just European. And because we live in a racialized society in which whiteness has been elevated to be viewed as supreme and viewed as the norm, we have to remind ourselves. Let me know what you think, though.
What's fact is that black people in the United States don't have the caucasity to define crime for everybody else while excluding themselves. What's fact is that European Americans have committed a vastly disproportionate amount of crime against humanity in the United States. European Americans have unalived and SA'd people of the global majority by the millions. European Americans have destroyed communities created by people of the global majority in the United States by the thousands. And until that truth is acknowledged and reconciled, there will be no excuses.
If you haven't heard the term European American, you gotta watch this video. In some of my recent posts, I've been seeing this comment of like European American to describe like Americans that are European descent, like for example, similar to Mexican American, Asian American, African American, right? European American. Why don't people that are American of European descent call themselves European American? It's interesting, right? I don't know if I agree or not, but it just makes you think like it should be that way if it's fair. I guess it's just interesting that we feel the need to differentiate minorities, right? So for example, when Italians came over, like, oh, they're Italian American. When the Irish came over, oh, they're Irish American. Now, once they've been here for a few generations, they've been assimilated into society, they just become Americans. But also they're white. So it's a totally different dynamic. People that are of color go through a completely different experience. And I think in today's world, that's what these words are used for. They're used to say like, oh, no, they're not American, they're Mexican American. It's like, oh, no, they're African American. Because the reality is that the only true Americans are the Native Americans. They were the OGs, the people that were here before everybody else. And then Europeans came and conquered. So it's just something to think about. What do you guys think?
I just had a thought. How come people who do not come from this turtle island are called something American? Like, I'm Native American. Someone from who is a person of color is African American. Or someone from Mexico is Mexican American. And someone from Canada is Canadian American. I don't know. Or like someone from Asia, Asian American, Chinese American. But what about the YT people? Why aren't they called the Euro Americans? Why aren't they called the Euro Americans? Why are they just called Americans? Why do they call themselves just Americans? I am indigenous. I am Nahewa. I'm not American. I'm Nahewa. I'm Anishinaabe, and my people were here before millennia, before colonization.
Guys, I wanted to make a video addressing this comment and actually hopefully start a productive conversation here. Hi, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Chloe. I had a video go viral because I was talking about my husband who is white but from South Africa, and we have a white baby, but that confuses a lot of people here in the States sometimes. I really like this question because there were a lot of questions, honestly, in my last video about, just kind of like colonization by our ancestors, and what does that mean if you are a native from a country, but you kind of have these horrible atrocities, right, that happen in your ancestral past. So there's been a lot of arguments that my husband, because he is white, right, so he's derived from the Netherlands, the Dutch, that he's not truly a native South African, even though his ancestors had been there since the 1600s. There was just a lot of discourse about he's not a true South African because of that. So then I really like this question that got, kind of pointed out is, okay, well, if you're an American, like, should we just stop calling ourselves Americans? Because I can tell you at least my family lineage, on my dad's side, we're mainly Italian and Irish, and on my mom's side, we're mainly Polish, Irish, and I believe we got a little bit of Russian in there. So I am truly an American mutt, if you want to call it like that. But, I have no Native American in my blood, and those are the true, if we want to break it down to, like, who's the true, population who belongs in the country or who's here natively, it's the Native Americans, correct, right? I just thought this was a really great question to bring up, when, not that we want to ignore atrocities that happen, I think that's so important, right? We're doomed to repeat history if we don't acknowledge it, if we don't learn it, if we don't teach it to the younger generation. So I know in my household, my son's only 18 months old, so we're definitely not talking about the apartheid with him right now, but that's definitely going to be a discussion when it comes up, when he's older and he's old enough to learn about it, because there's so many wonderful and beautiful things about South Africa and my husband's culture. My husband is Afrikaans, so we practice the language at home, so there's a lot of beautiful things. But yes, like there's also some things in the past, for example, the apartheid being the biggest one, that we have to address and we have to make sure our son learns about. Same with we have some German lineage as well, so you can guarantee we're going to talk about the Holocaust and stuff. They already teach that in the US schools, so I feel pretty confident my son's going to learn about that stuff. But I will say, guys, at least in my school system, we never really learned about South Africa. We never learned about the apartheid. It wasn't we knew about Nelson Mandela, but like just kind of knew of him as like a public figure, kind of like Gandhi. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So anyway, this is a little bit long for this response, but I would just really love to have a healthy discussion around this. I know some people feel very polarized, some people feel very, very strongly about this. So again, I just want us to all be as respectful and kind as possible. I've been really working hard on my responses and my video comment engagement to just curate this as like a positive discussion. I really want people to feel comfortable to learn and ask questions, because I feel like that's the only way we're going to get better, guys. That's the only way we're going to progress. That's it. So, all right, let me know what you guys think.
So let's call it what it is. Native Americans are the originals. African Americans are the descendants of the enslaved. And white folks, you are European Americans. Say it with me, European Americans. The reason this feels uncomfortable for some white folks is because it exposes the lie they have been living under, that they are the real Americans. No, you are not. You are the Europeans who moved here. You are not the beginning of this land. And you don't get to erase the truth just because the word Americans feels better in your mouth. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in the next one. Bye.